faith-based institutions here present. First, I would like to hit us up. I would say the broad name of the program is Women Empowered for Leadership. So if I shout women, and then you say empowered for leadership. If I say empowered for leadership, and then you say women. Do you think that would be fun?
Yes.
Women
Empowered for leadership.
Empowered for leadership.
Women.
Yes, so we still have 16 languages to go. At least today we'll start with one. That is going to implement this project is we are focusing mainly on strengthening the capacity of women, and we had to say we can't start from nowhere. We have to start and locate where are we at, to know what is in our closet, what is in our wallet, what is in our bags. So there's a baseline survey which we commissioned collectively, and we engaged consultants who have managed to do a little brief kind of field visits to Bindura, Harare, Mashingo, Gweri, and Mutare. And then we also reached out to institutions of knowledge that we have, the universities, the researches that have been done by civil society, some that have been done by UN Women, and some that have been done around the international development partners here. So generally there were about 4 categories that we were assessing or trying to locate where women are positioned. The first category was about access, to say can women actually access power and leadership opportunities. The second one was on barriers, to say in the journey, the road to being a leader, what are the barriers that are there? Then third was to look at unmasking the participation of women. If they are there, what exactly are they doing? How are they influencing and transforming the policy, the practice, the culture of the spaces that they are commanding power and leadership? Then the issue of transformation, to say in terms of who they are and what they are experiencing. What is it that needs to be strengthened in terms of capacity, or what is needed for us to create a conducive environment for women to be leaders? So to share, these are preliminary findings because we are still collecting data, and also we are excited and hopeful that you also registered. So when you were coming into the event, so that we share with you the questionnaire for you to complete further. So the target that I would say was targeted by the baseline survey was women in public administration, women in social service ministries, women in independent commissions, and women in governance structures that we have. So to start with, I would say on the presidium level, in terms of the president who then runs the country and the 2 vice presidents, for now we are at 0. We had a 1 that we enjoyed at another time, as a, but now we are on 0 in terms of the representation, so that is 0%. At cabinet level, we have 22%, and the 40% of the 22% are occupying deputy minister positions. So it then means the picture that Zimbabwe is painting for now in terms of where would we locate women if it's cabinet, is that the majority are holding the second position in the ministerial leadership roles. At parliament level, overall, we are at 35%. And when we look at the committees, in terms of the chairpersons of the parliament portfolio committees, we are at 25%. Now moving on to social service ministries, because that's where most of the time we are trusted by the dynamics that position leadership. You would find mostly women are holding power in social services ministries. And when we go to the provincial level, because the level that this project is addressing is the level at local level, at sub-national level, at provincial level, and national level. So at provincial level, the positioning of women leaders, when we look at them being technical directors, them also taking leadership roles at high level, at provincial level, we are at 60%. When we go to the national level, we then find that we are at 36%. And we celebrate and to also share that we only have 9 permanent secretaries that are women. On the independent commissions, we are at 33%, where we only have 2 independent commissions being chaired by women only, and that is the Zimbabwe Election Commission and the Gender Commission. Regarding civil society, while we played the watchdog role, we also tried to be clever. So now there's a new emerging trend post-2013. I think it was the effect of the Constitution section on gender balance. We also realized that we are now on 50%. So this is not just women's rights or youth movement, but it is really the broader civil society. So now coming to the qualitative reality of what we are finding, I would start with the positives. So the positive is that there is increase in confidence for women as leaders, by women themselves and also by the society. So our society is beginning to warm up to the idea that actually women are leaders. And for the women, they're actually realizing that actually I can be a leader and have an ambition and take the opportunity. Then for the women that are in leadership positions, they have also, the new developing trend is that they are now role modeling and encouraging young women and others that are on the low levels of their leadership structure in all sectors. So there is a growing trend of role modeling, of need for mentorship and coaching and pulling each other across the diversity. There is also women leaders who now have transformed in the institutions that they are leading, and they are also beginning to collectively share and realize that they are stronger together as a collective. And we see efficiency in the society, and then we also see, things beginning to be addressed and being spoken about. The key challenges now is that there is still limited opportunities for professional growth in women as they are positioned in various leadership positions. So the continuous nurturing is what is also missing. And then there are limited support systems to reduce, redistribute the burden of the diversity of roles of who women are in the Zimbabwean society. So we realize that women are kept busy. They are working thrice or even more much when they are women leaders because they have productive roles to play. Because sometimes even if you're a leader, you're still an employee or you need to make an income. They are playing a reproductive role where it's not just by you actually having to deliberately bear children, but they are taking care of the children, their parents, the society, and doing community work that involves issues around funerals, community development initiatives, which also sometimes take time. There are also leadership roles where when we look at the continuum of who women are, the intersectionalities of how they are positioned in the society, they have a family role, they have a church role, they have a society role. When they belong to parties, it's another role. When they are working, so these all roles are all coming to choke up women as leaders without having a support system that is deliberate to say how best do we put in mechanism to support them. For some, there is still sexual harassment, manipulation, and exploitation. And then there is lack of adequate institutional resources and tools for women to fully exercise their leadership and enjoy. So sometimes you then realize that women, while they are leaders, they don't have adequate resources to do or to exercise their mandate. Or when they need human resources or certain tools, their resources are still not yet there to support them as leaders. So sometimes it frustrates them, or sometimes it minimizes the kind of impact of the work and the leadership that they are giving. There are also still continuous confrontation, there is still continuous confrontation with patriarchy. So for the women leaders, some who are here present, every day you confront patriarchy. From the moment you are from your house, as you use the public transport system, as you are driving, everything in your layer from morning till the end of the clock for another day, you are confronting and challenging and interfacing with patriarchy. Then there is gender-based violence in public and private spaces, which is also affecting women and leaders and those that are aspiring to be. We also noted that there is limited knowledge and information on rights for others in terms of how best do I defend my rights when they are violated in a manner that I'll still maintain my dignity and not sell newspapers by my reality. So that it's a formula that we are still to figure out because currently it is not there. Then there are structural barriers which are affecting issues around women's representation into leadership because some are linear and male-dominated. So you would see that there is resistance in other institutions because they will be saying there will only be one CEO. There will only be one director. So are you saying someone should just be pushed on their seat because you women want to come in? What happened to the notion that you can't enjoy your rights at the expense of exploiting other people's rights? So I would say some of the things are now linear and structural in a manner that we now need to figure out by research, knowledge, and experience to say how best do we say when we have a structure that is rigid, we transform it to be responsive to the women's rights leadership agenda. Then there is an unconducive leadership context for women with disabilities. It would start even in terms of where are the offices located. What is the size of the door? If you are on the wheelchair, are you able to open that? What is the cost of a woman leader living with a disability to be here? So those barriers that are related to women with disabilities are still very strong because we are also as a society still learning on what do we need to transform and put in place. Then there's marginalization by age where if you are young women, our population is 60% youthful population. Women are more than 50% of the population. So there's a possibility that we have the majority young women who are not located in decision-making processes. And then there's also marginalization by age. If you become a senior citizen, all sorts of labels start coming to you and you are then told in certain things when you take time to want to process certain things by age also in terms of women, that comes in as a barrier and marginalization issue. Then there is a normalization of a misnomer that women don't support each other and are divided. So there's a patriarchal divide and rule tactic which is being entrenched in our mindset and in the society as a perception, because women are deliberately being set up against each other. So there is coming in to say, no, there's people here Down syndrome, no, you don't support each other. No, that's a divide and rule tactic which is being entrenched by those that are resisting equality. So I would just say that in summary, those are the things. But in terms of opportunities, there were opportunities that were shared to say we need to invest in initiatives that deal with a woman leader in totality. So we need to be holistic, because you can't have an immunization that when you're elected and your political empowerment leadership is up, it means automatically the economic, the social also come into place. So we now need new models of looking at women as holistic as we can. And then issues around institutional transformation on policy, practice, and adequate resource allocation to make it good or conducive for women to be leaders. And then create a conducive environment without fear, feel of inferiority, and all forms of violence. As well as investment in a continuous development of women leaders, because life and context continue to shift, and a young woman who is engaged in a certain part of a timeline, she'll be evolving, she'll be growing, and responsibilities will be coming in. So a life cycle approach to leadership is also something that came in as a recommendation that were coming from the key informants. Then a support system for women leaders in all areas of their life to cater for addressing the multiple roles that women command in their diversity. Then equipment of women and those that exist in other areas of their life to know how best they can support them. Then an intergenerational interface and engagement to sustain women's leadership across generations, across geographical location, and across their divide. So in a nutshell, that is where we are at in terms of preliminary findings. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. I'm happy that
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.